Hi, I'm John Benson, and welcome to my mini course called Viral NLP. These are tips to make your video sales letter go viral, meaning that you don't need tons of paid traffic and things of that nature to get people to share your video for you. Now, that's kind of cool. In fact, I'm going to use the VSL that I actually use to sell my Fast Track Viral NLP training. So I'm going to actually dissect this because there's tons of viral NLP inside of this VSL. So why not use my own work and practice what I preach and show you how I'm doing it inside this VSL. Now, we're going to have to define some terms before we go on. But first, before I do that, I do want to say that your video sales letter can go viral simply by putting it on YouTube as well as hosting it on whatever platform that you're hosting it on. Let's say that you're hosting through Wistia or you're hosting through Vimeo. Well, also, you'll always want to put it on a social media site like YouTube or whatever. That's one way to do that. However, what causes it to be shared by others is a combination of NLP, which we'll talk about here in a moment, and what I call viral NLP, which is simply tacking on viral language on top of neuro-linguistic programming. And we'll cover some examples on how to do that. And it's pretty easy to do. Once you see what I'm doing, you'll see how easy it is to do. And the third element in this is the element of story selling. Now, story selling is kind of a catchphrase that a friend of mine came up with. I really like it. It's basically how to sell someone through the telling of a story. But there's a way to do a story that I'll show you how I did mine. Super simple. I think it's only 6 slides long, or maybe 10, but I share, basically I tell a story that somebody going through a similar situation may want to share with somebody else. It's simple little things like, I was really struggling, I was really going through a really tough time, and then something happened. People tend to share when they find a story that really hits home for them, or they think it's home for a friend. Like, hey, I know you're going through a hard time. This guy has a cool story about how he either lost weight or made money online when he was broke, or whatever the case may be. Now, that's simple hero's journey stuff. But when combined with some of these viral NLP phrases and terms, and some of them are shockingly simple, you'll see why this works. And it really does work to a remarkable degree. The sales letter that I use as an example inside my own VSL training here is one that I wrote for my book, The 4-Day Diet. And that book, I've never promoted that book to my list for the last 9-10 months. Just haven't done it. I let it sit there and watch what it would do virally. In other words, without me doing anything. And the crazy thing is I had in 1 month, I just pulled up a general month, and the vast majority of my traffic is viral, meaning that it came either from an affiliate that found me that I have no idea who that affiliate is. I've never met them. They found me through it being posted viral. People were posting it on YouTube, people, and just through organic sharing. So I didn't have to spend any money on traffic to pull in what I'll show you in this video, which was in this particular month, it was $30,000. But that's a low month. I pulled in a purposely low month to show you that even when it's low, it can really work. So this is the Viral NLP training session. So let's get started. First of all, what is NLP? Well, it's Neuro-Linguistic Programming. That is what that stands for, in case you don't know what that is. The simplest way to explain Neuro-Linguistic Programming is simply words and phrases that speak both to your subconscious and conscious mind. I mean, there's a more elaborate explanation of what NLP is. There's entire courses devoted to NLP. You can study this at length. I only use NLP as one tool in a big toolbox. People think I'm an NLP expert. I'm really not. I'm just very adept at using it inside language. And really, this is the best way to speak to a human being. It's a way to speak to a human being because we hear things that we're not saying. And let me repeat that. The person you're talking to is hearing things that you're not saying. The things that you're not saying are being interpreted, right? So this is why you can come up to somebody and say, I love you, or come up to somebody and say, oh, yeah, I love you. You're saying the same thing, but obviously those are two different ways of saying it. So that is the way that we're doing this, only instead of such an obvious way, we're using very subtle ways to say things that we want somebody to do. For example, you'll hear me say in this VSL, I want you to pay attention. But sometimes I'll just say, that's why you need to pay attention to blank. I might not be talking about me. I say, you need to pay attention to the words that this guy is saying. Well, when I say pay attention, I emphasize those words, and your subconscious mind hears pay attention. I'll say, look, all the time. Look, you and I both know. So I just did NLP in 2 different ways there. Look. Basically, when I say look, your brain goes, what do I look at? Even though that you're hearing my audio right now, you're just looking at the screen. You and I both know. That's called assumptive language. So in other words, I just presume that you and I both know something. You and I is also a rapport building phrase. So there's lots of, in those little sentences, those two little sentences, there's tons of stuff in there that professional copywriters like me know how to use to get somebody's attention and build rapport. That's what you're going to find throughout this whole course, and especially in the course that I talk about in this. And the link to that course is down below. It's called the VSL Fast Track. It's my course on creating these viral video sales letters that uses my famous 5-step VSL formula. It's done over $1 billion in sales. That's with a B, by the way, for my customers and my clients. So I'd love for you to have that. Look below and you can get it now. And this is a little taste of it, okay? First of all, next of all, what is viral NLP? Well, viral NLP is the same thing as using NLP, but using NLP phrases that direct the prospect that you're trying to reach to share, as well as story elements that evoke a need to share, okay? So it's going to encourage them through NLP commands to share very subtly, sometimes not so subtly, and there's going to feel a need to I just feel like I need to pass this along. And someone might not know why they feel that way. It's simply because of the way that you're telling the story. Now, I probably won't have time to go through every single slide of this VSL, but we're going to just crank it up and go through it really, really quickly. I just introduced the VSL here. My number one money-making tip, notice that is the words that it's going to leap out at you. You'll notice that what I do for my NLP commands is I highlight them in red. Now, I started that when I created video sales letters about 9 years ago. I started highlighting in red what I wanted someone to see. Now, this particular slide says virally. Now, you'll notice that I highlight virally a lot because this is the hook of this VSL. I'm talking about viral VSLs. Okay, now I just subtly introduce myself here and I go right into, look what you see on the screen really quick. What's the 4 words that stick out? Make more money online. Make more money online. I'll say that right. If you want to make more sales and more money online, and that's a sentence, but I highlighted 1 word and 3 in the next. Make more money online. Your brain just sees that and you're hearing me say, if you want to make more sales and more money online, or you're hearing me say a sentence, but your subconscious mind is hearing make more money online. It's a command and a promise at the same time. So these are the ways that we use NLP. Very simple. You really must use video, not any video. I'd say, well, there's a hook to this. There's the video sales letters, okay? Now look at this one. Virally desire to buy. Okay, so I am actually commanding inside of a viral VSL. I'm talking about viral VSLs. I'm using the word viral a lot, so that's a kind of a triple downplay on the viral thing. But notice I could use virally, not even worry about it. That's just my hook. That's why I'm accenting in red. Notice that I say desire to buy. So that is a command. Desire to buy. I'm telling someone that on their subconscious mind they have a desire to buy. So when people buy something, by the way, they tend to spread it around and share it with other people. So buying is a natural viral thing. There's no trick to that, right? But this is a cool way of using NLP. $0. Now, but I want you to notice something. Desire to buy $0. What I'm telling someone there is this may be free. Now it's not. I'm just emphasizing $0 on this slide. It's really pretty cool. And look what I do here. This is called repetition. Okay, obviously this is repetition, but there's a technique that I use, and there's not an official name for it, but I use redundant language. I use the same word over and over again in one slide. You'll see it here in just a little bit. But I also use, look at this, desire to buy, desire to buy. That was not accidental. And now we're getting into the virality component. And here's why this works. This becomes viral from a simple command, desire to buy, can become a viral NLP command because it's repeated. Okay? Repetition leads someone to share, because what is sharing? Sharing is a natural expression of wanting to be repetitive. If you see something, you pass it on, you've read it and you want other people to read it too. It is a natural multiplication factor. So some of the things, some of the posts, some of the videos that you share like on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, you share them because maybe they're clever or they're funny or whatever, but they have a built-in component that drives you to want to do this. Now, sometimes it's just what you're interested in, but in this particular case, the built-in component is being done for you. So desire to buy is not something that the user wants to share with somebody else, but what they're seeing is the repetition of it. And their mind is starting to act on repetition. Now, if you get too repetitive, it can be silly and boring, and we don't want to do that. But these little bitty things really increase someone's desire to actually share this. So I will tease somebody, I say, see if you can spot the viral components inside the VSL. So that's kind of fun. So built in is one spot there. So then I just go into simple did you know. Did you know is a big part of my VSL stuff. It's like, did you know this? Did you know this? So I build a case for what I'm talking about here. Making millions is obviously highlighted in this phrase, but the sentence is, haven't you ever wondered how those marketers are making millions using ugly VSLs that go viral? Pulling cash. So you're starting to see a pattern here, right? The words that I'm highlighting, right? So then I just go into a story. You probably want one for yourself. However, you're stuck because you really don't know how to do this. And you certainly don't know how to do this on autopilot. And that's the cool thing there. Going from a slide that says, you don't know how to do this, and then I go, you don't know how to do this, that's pain, and then I go to pleasure, autopilot. Now, this is an NLP tactic that I call duality. Duality. There's different ways to say that. There's push-pull. There's different ways to say it. But I'll say something very negative. You're stuck, next to nothing, on autopilot. So I go from something very negative to something very positive. I would love to not be stuck, but I would also love to have sales and generate new customers on autopilot. You see how that works? Now look what I go right. So here I combine the two. One that would put an end to your financial worries. So financial worries is the negative, one that put an end to it is a positive. And then I get into the hook of this, which is Viral NLP. Then I explain what it is, which I just did. So I'm going to go through these slides very, very quickly. If you want to watch this slower, go to the link below and you can see the whole thing. And this is a very powerful word, automatically. Automatically is one of my very favorite words to use, and I highlight it almost every single time because everyone wants something done automatically. We want it done for us. Now, I don't believe in push button profits, like somebody like you don't have to work for anything. That's never what I talk about. However, when you use these tactics, things do get spread virally automatically. And a formula that I teach, my 5-step formula, VSL formula, you follow that formula and it will work automatically, meaning it's designed to work. Okay, it has a much higher chance of it working if you try something on your own. Now, automatically give you. Okay, those phrases are very carefully chosen. Give you is a pretty powerful phrase, right? So now it's going to understand, rest assured, lifestyle you deserve. Are you starting to see something here? So your subconscious is hearing rest assured, lifestyle you deserve. That's why you're going to be more prone to share this with somebody else, somebody that you care about. You might not know why, but that's what's going on. But I'm forming a phrase. This is all talking in sentences. Before we go any further, I want you to rest assured the fact you've been missing out is not your fault. So that does not comprehend with your subconscious mind, but with your conscious mind. So your prefrontal cortex, when you tap your forehead, you're hearing those words that way. But your subconscious mind, the part that really controls you, is hearing lifestyle you deserve, rest assured, lifestyle you deserve, rest assured. Now, there's nothing nefarious here, although it could be used in a negative way. You can see how this could be used very, very negatively, and I'm totally against that. Like you could embed commands that are very bad, right? Well, no, I'm just telling somebody what I want them to have. I want them to have a lifestyle they deserve. So use this responsibly, okay? Now, here's why. Let me talk about this. Cialdini, Robert Cialdini talks about this, the fantastic psychologist and marketer, and I think he wrote the book Persuasion. Robert has a fantastic thing called because. Is whenever you say, okay, this is on sale today for $99, and here's, mine is here's why. His is because X. So because is cool because it's one word. Because I have to do this, this, and this. Your brain has to hear that because. Because. Well, there's I think a better way to say this, and here's why. I say and here's why all the time. You know why I think here's why is better? Nothing against Robert. Robert's a genius. Here is a presence command, okay? Let's talk about presence command. If I say, I need you to pay attention right now to what I'm saying, be here with me. So what I'm doing is I'm just talking to you and asking you to come into this moment with me. I'm a big believer in the power of presence. When you're with your loved one, when you're with your children, significant other, you want to be present, and you know what it feels like when somebody isn't present with you, right? You know, they're checking their phone or they're watching television, and that feeling sucks. Well, your prospect is watching a VSL, doesn't know you, he's only hearing your voice. The most powerful thing you can do is command them to be present. And I use here all the time because I want them here. I use pay attention all the time because I want them here. So this is also not only subconsciously creating that presence, that feeling of bringing someone into the presence, but when I go, it's not your fault, here's why, I'm going to explain something to you. So that's the obvious way. But because doesn't have that degree of power. Because simply transitions from your brain from, okay, you told me something kind of cool, but I need to know why. This actually transitions you and puts you into a present state of mind. And then I just tell why that's the truth. You've never heard about this until now. Only my Accelerator VIP customers even know about it, and my 100 grand copywriting clients. You're going to have it all given to you. Epic. That's one of my favorite words. I just highlighted that word because I like it. However, there's another reason. So I like to build intrigue when I'm making a case. So I'm saying, okay, here's why, X, Y, and Z. And that's not all. And you've heard, and that's not all, usually where? In a pitch, right? And that's not all. Today, you'll also get blank. So I'm subtly, psychologically setting somebody up for a pitch. That's not all. There's another reason. This is all very subtle stuff, but these little things add up and create a massively powerful VSL. And look what I say, you believe, need, make you succeed. Okay? So that is a direct command. This is what you believe, need, make you succeed. In other words, you have to succeed. That's what that phrase is all about. You believe, need, make you succeed. Okay, so and then it goes on to say the best way. Okay, so now you're saying this going on. This is the best way, in my opinion, to help somebody succeed. And obviously I joke a lot in my VSLs. Probably worth what you paid for it. In the end result, now I want you to notice this slide. This is really powerful. You're more confused and frustrated than you are wealthy. But what's the word that sticks out? Wealthy. I use duality inside a single sentence all the time. All the time. The power of duality, which I didn't talk about very much a while ago, I want to go into why that's so powerful, is you don't know what mood your customer or prospect is in. And no one's in one, literally like scale of 1 to 10, you're very rarely a 0 or very rarely a 10, right? You're in the middle. But if you're a 9 and you're really bouncing off the walls happy, you're going to be much more prone to see that word wealthy and go, oh, cool. Something else I can add to myself. If you're a 2 or 3 and you're bummed out, you're going to see you're more confused and frustrated, but you're still going to see that wealthy command. It's in red, and you can't help but notice it. And then I say, wealthy, look. And look is what? Look is an NLP command. Look, I'm commanding you to look. Now, before I go back, I want to go back to this. So you're using 2 different modes of language. So you're using a negative mode and a positive mode, and that's duality. Duality is very simple, but that really covers everyone. So if I say, I've got awesome news today that will help you get out of debt because I know that's causing you a lot of pain. Okay, I just made that sentence up. Well, did you see what I did? Awesome news, get out of debt, causing you a lot of pain. That's duality. Use it all the time. Look, and then I go into my case. There are hundreds of funnels experts out there, copywriting experts, lots of useless products out there, and even some very famous people in the internet marketing world who are students of mine teaching half-assed versions of this formula, and that's true. Just that week I put this out. One of them actually released some VSL training. And I make a joke, you get 50% from them or 100% from me. So share. I'm going to share the most tested and proven system on earth that walks anyone through. I'm going to go to this slide in a minute, anyone through how to do this. But notice that share is highlighted in red. Now, I went through here and highlighted this in red after the fact so I could make it even more clear. You don't even need to do that. I do it, most of the time I do it just to get extra emphasis. But obviously, we're going to want to share. Now, even though technically speaking, share is a command, share is not a lot of, it's not a very common command used in when people do this technique where they shade the word that they want people to emphasize and they want the subconscious mind to pick up. But in a viral VSL, we're going to be using share, pass along. That's called viral VSL. Or viral NLP rather. That's what we're doing here. So simple and yet so powerful. So this is really cool. Share a viral cash cow VSL. So that was really cool. It was easy for me to do that because I'm talking about viral VSLs, but pretty cool. Now, I just wanted non-copywriters to be emphasized here because I made this product for non-copywriters. A guy like me who's a copywriter, we know a lot of this stuff. Now, granted, I get 20% of my customers are copywriters because they want to study what I've done, and that's cool. And if you are, that's great. You click on that link below to get my course because you definitely need it. But this is for non-copywriters, for marketers that don't have a skill of writing, that just need a template, need ideas, need a formula that works for them. So that's why I created this. And I just do a little brag line here by the godfather and the creator of the VSL. Now, I very rarely emphasize negative words. Bad is one of those words, right? But the reason I'm doing that is because I'm about to set up something that's a very powerful case study. And the emphasis on that case study is the fact that I'm going to show someone a bad month. Now, this is a very, very cool, this is not NLP, but I'm going to share this strategy with you anyway. You should do this in every single sales letter or VSL that you do. It's really awesome to show how great you are. It's even better if you can show, like, this is my worst month ever this year. And the worst month ever is still pretty good, especially if it's within believability range. And this, what I'm going to show you really is, okay? But this was a bad month for a viral VSL. And then I got the good months. I don't even show the total that I've made. I don't show the good months. I show the bad months. I'm saying, can you imagine if that's the bad month, how awesome the good months are? Do you see how much more powerful that is than saying, look at my awesome month? If you show the bad months, what does that automatically convey? That there's an opposite of bad, right? Well, I convey it not only with that, I actually convey it in literal graphic, right, from my software project screen capture, right? And I go through here and I literally say, okay, look, this is the date range I picked. It's 30 days. Here's the total number of sales, 29 grand. But look at this. And I way overemphasize, it's down 47%, almost 48%. It's almost halfway down. And I say, look at this graph. It's up, down, it's all over the place. Okay, it's like the stock market. But that's the bad month. And then I say, look at all this. This is all non-paid traffic. In my top affiliate, who I blanked out just for privacy, I don't even know who they are. I have no idea who that is. To this very day, I don't know who they are. I mean, I know their URL, but I don't know who they are. They found me because the VSL is viral. There's two ways to make your VSL viral. Number one, make it viral to the public. In other words, people saying, hey, this VSL is awesome. This video is great. It gives tips on making a VSL, or it gives tips on losing weight, or it gives tips on finding a date. And they pass it along like that. So that's mostly what I'm talking about. However, there's another viral component of it, and that's when your VSL converts, affiliates spread it around, and they wind up promoting this and doing like this. I have no idea who this is. So that happens all the time. Most of my affiliates I don't know, and I have no idea, never will meet them. But all of those numbers to the far right, the 1333, 766, 535, and 184, all of those are viral sales. And to be honest with you, even though the URL is mine, 4daythyroidfix.com, that I never mailed for this month. So this did not come from anything I mailed. And I haven't mailed for anything in 7 months. So there's no way it can be cookied. So that's probably people Googling that, or looking for a search, or just typing it in because they know it. So that's what's crazy about that. So almost all of these could be technically considered, but let's just take out my URL. It's still, the vast majority are exactly that. They're organic. So I didn't have to pay for any of that traffic. The affiliate found me, and that's all because of this. And notice the word that's highlighted, viral, because again, that's my hook. But now listen to this. Check this out. Listen. See, I knew that was coming up. Listen. That word stands out by itself. It is an NLP command. Viral, listen. You could go out there and read every book, study every course, and then selling and persuasion, I highlight that, attend every event, and still feel like you know enough finally to create this. Or this is called a comparative. All this is a comparative. I'm saying you could do all this really hard stuff, or you could watch 7 short videos. And look at the 7 short videos, viral VSLs, perfectly stacked, really close to perfectly stacked on top of each other, done on purpose. So my course is 7 videos long, not counting the bonuses. So there you go. 7, that's a lot easier, right? I even give the time, 2 hours and 21 minutes, total video time. Okay, that's it. That gets you to a VSL. And if you can afford traffic, even better. So this is basic, no BS, no fluff, easy, viral. Now are you seeing how this is done? So this is a great course, a great little tutorial on NLP, easy, viral. I'm talking about the subject of virality, and I want you to believe that it's easy, and it really is. So easy, viral. And what do you think the next slide might have highlighted? Viral. Guaranteed. That's ninja stuff. I'm going to take it back. This is samurai, better than ninja. Samurai stuff. Viral, viral, guaranteed. That goes back to what we talked about, repetition. Repetition helps spread your VSL virally because the subconscious mind wants to do something with it. And we don't do things that are logical. I mean, when we crave food that we know is bad for us, when we go to some place we know we shouldn't really go, but we go there anyway, that's your subconscious mind directing you to do something. Well, this is a good thing. We want the user's subconscious mind to be directed to, you know what? I just felt the need to share this video. Well, they might not know why, but this is part of the reason why. Now, the other reason why has to deal with your information, and you have to put really good stuff inside your VSL. Maybe it's your story, maybe it's a tutorial, whatever it may be. But there's ways you can make that viral as well. Now, I emphasize this because this is ruthless yet ethical. Now, what am I doing there? If you've taken notes, you know it's duality, and it's not even a sentence. It's just 3 words. Ruthless, negative. Usually thought of as negative. It's not always negative. Yet ethical. Okay. Positive. It's duality. Now you see all these secrets being pulled back, right? Yeah. To any prospect. So in other words, now look at this. Shared. To any prospect. Shared. This goes by super fast, by the way. You only need a fraction of a second for your subconscious mind to pick up and act on a command. This has been proven over and over and over again. So this is nothing new. And obviously, this is nothing nefarious. We're just asking people to share things. Now, picture in your mind is a prototypical, right out of the textbook, NLP command. When I say imagine this, or picture, if you will, picture in your mind, you can't help but do exactly what I say next. Picture in your mind what these viral language patterns will do for your sales. Picture it. No, right now you're picturing it in your mind. It's because that's the way the brain works. Triple. I want them to picture it in their mind triple. I'm giving them what to picture on the next slide. Subtle, but there. Okay. Then I go into the hero study and things of this. These are like the benefits of my course, and I highlight some of these things just simply because they're easy to highlight. So that doesn't have any real command. By up to 75%, I want people to notice that. Easy versus simple. Easy, simple sticks out, obviously. And on the next slide, what do you think I'm going to do? If you said repetition, you win a brownie. Repetition. You see it now? Okay. Simple, simple. Look at the next slide. See profits instantly. Yeah, that's a good one, isn't it? You see what I'm doing? How to qualify your prospects. Love, invest, rave. These are all powerful commands and powerful promises, all done at the same time. Now, I realize I'm going very fast. If you want to know how these slides are put together, what order to put them in, what formula to follow, you got to get my course. It's below. It's very inexpensive. Right now we have it on sale. I believe it's on sale for $497. It might have gone back up to $997. We had a 48-hour special running that starts the moment you click that link. So if you clicked it, it's gone. But if you haven't, it's there for you. And it's so worth the money because it's going to save you just a ton of time. And I give you an entire template with multiple variations of slides you can use for a longer VSL than even this one. So anyway, emphasize X. Now, I'm turning some things red simply because I want someone to notice them. They could have been white. It's not a command, but notice the next one. Okay. So I'm talking about the prospect's will to buy faster, right? Keep on buying from you. But notice what I buy faster. That's a direct command. Again, speed, repetition, this creates virality. And way off. And you're thinking, oh my gosh, way off. Okay, well, that's a terrible thing to say. Again, very rarely do I emphasize bad, negative things inside of anything that would call subconscious attention to it. But way off because you got too little cash. But 30 seconds of effort, deep desire to buy from you. So I created over 4 slides a horror story. Okay, you're way off. You got low on cash. However, 30 seconds of effort, deep desire to buy. So that's actually constructed over 4 slides. Your brain doesn't pick up just slide, then goes to the next slide. You can actually pick up over slides. I talk about that technique in detail in my NLP in my VSL course down below. Now we go into my next benefit, my one reason why, and this is a really big secret behind the power of viral NLP. Apply this one technique. Obviously, I want someone to apply something, and you can earn more from every transaction you make. Triple guarantee. This is the thing that doesn't cost you anything. I just say what it's measured by here in red, measured by 28%. Testimonial secret place. Now, that was an interesting one. Secret place is really intriguing. You just have to know where that secret place is. And the fact that I'm talking about testimonials is just really cool. I didn't have to highlight that in red. And going back, I probably wouldn't. I would probably take off that highlight. Secret place is what I would do because it doubled sales. So that's really powerful. Secret place that doubles sales. Again, across 2 slides. Said it's worth 20 times what they'll invest today. Sales cranking power, additional work, frictionless. Now this is what's really interesting. We talk about buyer friction here, okay? Check out page friction and buyer friction. Frictionless is a cool word. Just slide right through the buying process. Then I'll talk about how hard that is, and check out friction. You got to reduce it. It's a mandatory reduction. You got to reduce it. So you can reduce it up to 35%. That's 35% free money. Obviously, what I'm doing here is pretty painfully obvious. 35% free money. Okay. Well, that's what I'm talking about, because if you reduce the shopping cart abandonment rate by up to 35%, which is what you can do using these techniques, it's literally like getting 35% free money. But I'm emphasizing what? Free money in red. I mean, that's one of the strongest things you can possibly ever say. Now, that's pretty fun NLP, right? Action to buy. Look at the next one. Really wants. And this one, share virally. Really wants to share virally. Can you see the viral NLP? Now, I'm really helpful that I get to use the word viral. A lot of people won't get to use it, but just take viral out of that phrase, or virally out of that phrase. Really wants, share. Really wants, share. This is called viral NLP. Cool? And much more. Juicy cash creating tidbits. Today, get. Today, get. And the phrase is, now you must get this. Now, check that out. Now you must get this. Spoken alone, this would sound like you must get this product right now. Right now, you must get this product. And that's exactly what I want the user to assume. You must get this right now. And you should, by the way. In fact, today. Do you see how that works? Pretty cool, huh? No one else teaches this stuff. You see. You see is a prototypical NLP command. You see. I could just say see. You're looking right at the screen. You see, even better. And here comes my story. I talked about 9 short years ago, VSLs didn't even exist. People sold their products with less effective means. And then I tell my personal story. I did a lot of YouTube style marketing. Didn't go anywhere with it. Had a stressful work week. Didn't shave. Didn't feel like showing my face on camera. So I got this crazy idea. I want you to think about that phrase. I got this crazy idea. That is a turn of phrase. A turn of phrase is so imperative when you tell a story. If you want your story to go viral, if you want people to go, oh, wow, that's the coolest story, all you need is one phrase that separates your before from your middle, and then your middle from your after. So your before, middle, and after. Think of a story as like, it was a long time ago, it was a dark and stormy night, or whatever. It was a long time ago, and I used to be this way. Then turn of phrase. I got this crazy idea. I stumbled upon this insane solution. I went to this one conference and everything changed my life. Some phrase that transitions you back into the mid part of the story. In this case, I decided to make a simple, I should have just emphasized the word simple, but I put a simple PowerPoint file like this one, loaded it. So loaded it is great. Loaded would have been better than loaded it. So I can go back here and critique my own stuff because I do these things pretty quickly, but not too bad. I was pretty happy with this one. So simple loaded is really good, right? And then I just read my slides. Now my transition phrase, while it was really ugly and all my friends made fun of it and said it would never work, no way this will ever work, that's really my transition phrase. My sales increased by over 300% overnight. It's a super short story. That's not a long story. I talk about how to create long stories inside my VSL course that you get down below. Create it like literally a 5 or 10 minute story that really does cement the sale. But in this particular case, I didn't need the story because I'm selling to people that know who I am and already know that I created this stuff. So there's not a big story just to tell, but the story I told was fun. And I said, this was the birth of the VSL, and it was. And it's now a $15 billion a year industry. It really is. I didn't mean to create a $15 billion a year industry. I wish I got a point for that, but I did. And it was quite accidental. In fact, I'm going to key on that accidental phrase here in a moment. I'm going to tell you another cool way to do a story, which is to make yourself really modest. And I'll show you that here in a second. Due to the success of that VSL, every guru that did not know my name a month prior wanted to hire me. Now, what am I doing in that one sentence? Very modestly saying, hey, these folks didn't know who I was. So was I famous when I created this? No, they didn't know my name. I didn't have to say I was down on my luck. I was barely making a dime. That wasn't true, but didn't know my name was true at the time. So where are you? Are you in a position right now where a lot of the most famous people in marketing don't know your name? Then you can relate to that sentence really well. That's a hero's journey sentence. These guys didn't used to know my name, all in one simple sentence. So you can say the same thing in your story. Super short, right? And I say I charged 25 grand at first for a VSL, which is true, and 50. Then before I retired, 75, 100 for one VSL. And then I show proof of this. So if I'm going to talk about something like that, I'm going to show proof. So I showed canceled checks from people that paid me all that money. And I could literally show hundreds of more, but I just showed 5 really, really quickly. So when I revealed a pathetically tiny investment, now let's talk about that phrase really quickly. Again, this is not NLP. This is just good marketing. When I reveal the pathetically tiny investment, it's just minuscule. But minuscule is a little too large of a word. So pathetic, most people know. This tiny investment, I like pathetically tiny investment. I just wanted to put that in there to really get that down. So you know something small coming up. I'm not highlighting that really strong. I don't highlight that in red because I just bold it in white. I'm just letting the brain warm up to it. But the whole thing is it's the exact same value as all of this. These people pay me all this money. The stuff I'm going to share with you is the same exact value. It's like paying me that much money. The knowledge is the same. Now, obviously, I'm not doing it for you, but the knowledge is the same. It's the next best thing to me doing it for you. You need to use the same exact value. That phrase is very, very powerful. Use it everywhere that you can. But my story isn't finished yet, and that's what I wanted to tell you. So you thought my story was finished, right? No, my turn of phrase, little surprise, wasn't just that phrase I showed you a while ago. My turn of phrase in this case was all of that proof. Look what happened after I did this. Wow. But that's not the end of my story. So the end of my story goes on. Eventually, I was hired by a $100 million marketing company to teach these secrets to their team of copywriters. So it's one thing when somebody goes, oh, I've got a scripting tool, or oh, I got to teach you my course on how I do copywriting. It's another thing when somebody that's a $100 million company hires you to come out and teach Agora Financial and Agora Health and some of the biggest copywriters on the planet to come teach them how I do this. John Carlton was in that room. I mean, unbelievable people in that room where I taught this course. And these were all mega successful copywriters, and I'm teaching them this stuff. That's a different animal. We're in a different league here, right? But what I did to go through that and what created the VSL Fast Track that you're going to get down below, obviously, right? Because you're not silly, right? You're not silly. I sorted through years of my experience in dozens of VSLs. I literally went back through like, what am I doing? Is there a formula that I'm following that I don't know about? And this is a very fun way to do this, only to discover there was a viral 5-step formula behind every winner. Truth is, I accidentally crafted this 5-step formula and it works in spite of me. It's idiot proof. So I'm being extremely modest here. This works in spite of me, but truth, the right hand, right hand to the sky. I did not set out to go, oh, here's a 5-step formula and I know exactly what I'm doing. I was just writing. And then a friend of mine, in fact, he ended up writing a $10 million VSL, Joshua Pellissier. He and I sit down and we just dissected a bunch of VSLs and said, what am I doing here? It's like, oh, there's this. And that became the 5-step VSL formula. That's found inside the VSL Fast Track. That's obviously the heart and soul of my accelerator software. So the VSL Fast Track is the only thing that's available right now. So you can get it down below, at least on this page. And that's the heart of it. But I had to literally reverse engineer it. And it's like, oh my gosh, there is some stuff going on here. And later on, I reverse engineered the viral component of it, and that's what I'm teaching you now. So then I go way out on the line. I said, let me be blunt here. This 5-step formula that lets you sell effortlessly and lets you effortlessly make VSLs that fucking sell. I actually say that on the VSL. It's a little controversial. I kind of have a beep over it, but you can kind of hear it. So you can take that or leave it. I can be a little bit more aggressive because I'm talking to marketers and I am sort of an aggressive person. But if you're talking to a weight loss audience or you're talking to a group of spiritual women, probably not the best use of terms. But so 100 million dollar guys were blown away, and I know you will be too. That's the conclusion of the story. So that's all, right? So you think. So you think. The story keeps going. That team went on to create dozens of multi-million-dollar profit machines, which is absolutely true. That's the true completion of the story. And starting today, you're about to be a fly on their money wall, ethically listening in. Now, what am I doing there? Listening in. I'm commanding you to listen in on 20 of the top marketers in the world, as you get to witness that $2,500 per person VSL mastermind session for yourself for less than a family dinner. And that just jumps out at you. This transitions me perfectly into this is the pitch. This is the pitch, starting the pitch right here. Introducing my formula, the fastest way possible to a mega profit viral VSL. Paint by numbers simple. I reverse the simple in red here. because I go guaranteed to white here. Now I'm just doing this just to play with myself and have fun, play with myself, not in that way, get your mind out of the gutter, play with myself mentally. But this is fun. Okay. Now simple and guaranteed is sticking out because they're in white, but so imagine this. And what am I doing here? Imagine. I'm going right back to the red. Imagine. That's an NLP command. Finishing a viral VSL in a single afternoon rather than weeks or months. And what do you see on this slide? Cash right now, knowing. Over 1 billion in sales. Okay, now that one is really good, and it's really, it's cool. It's pushing it. It's cool though. Cash right now, knowing over 100 billion in sales. So you might read that like you think you're going to make 100 billion in sales. Or billion, in sales. That's not what I meant by that. It's just knowing that I've done this. So that's what I meant by that. But it still is so good. Cash right now, knowing 100 billion. I'm going to say this right here to kill me. 1 billion in sales. Okay. Then I talk about these are overcoming objections that are coming up in the customer's mind. And I'm going to overcome those objections before they even ask them, or at least as they're thinking them. So if they're thinking, well, what about so-and-so script? Script this, script that. Well, a script can't touch this. There's no way. No script on the planet's done $1 billion in sales a year, let alone, right? And pretty software isn't needed. Like there's some VSL software that all it does is make a VSL look pretty. How pretty is this that you're looking at? It's black with white and red. That's it. Okay. It's not pretty on purpose. You don't need pretty. You need persuasion. You got the wrong P if you're thinking pretty. You need persuasion. So if you want the only $1 billion blueprint there is, there's only one place to get it. That's it. It's below this video right now. That's the only place to get it. The time-tested sales formula used by thousands of marketers that saves you. Okay. Now, I use a lot of religious metaphor and I use a lot of religious NLP. I use the word resurrect a lot, and I'll put that in red. Saves you a lot. And the reason is very simple. There's a lot of people who are religious and a lot of people that have deep, passionate connection with that. So all I'm doing there is I'm tapping into their own core values. Now, I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here and say, if you're trying to inject your core values into your audience, you're playing a fool's game. And let me be very clear about this. One of my core values is integrity. It's like I want to be as much of in integrity as possible while still being a marketer, which is hard to do. It's not an easy. You got to juggle that. The line there can get kind of gray. But as far as when it comes to my products and who I am as a human being, no one ever said, "Oh, that guy's just a con artist," because I'm not. I'm the real dude. You can come up to me anytime, talk to me anytime. I'm happy to help you. I try to make the best products I can. If I screw up, I screwed up. So that's what I mean by integrity. And of course, making, like I said, helping other people make money. So I don't mind saying, hey, integrity this or whatever, but I'm not going to try to force that on you. Nor am I going to say that just because I don't believe something, I'm not going to talk to you. If I know that you are a Buddhist, I might say something that is more Buddhistic in terminology simply because I want to relate to you. Now, I'm not a Buddhist, but I might say something like, I love contemplative studies, which I do actually. And, I think I might talk about presence. I might talk about the self. I might say, well, it's kind of like the selfless self. You know what I mean? And I might be saying something else, not talking about what they may be hearing, but they may be hearing something totally different. All that is building rapport with that person. Now, if you use that in a manipulative way, meaning that you're trying to get something out of them that you don't really care about them, then it's just terrible. If you use it in a loving way that you just want to build rapport with them, it's awesome. I do this with kids. I do this with my mates. It's like I want to build rapport, right? So I'll speak their language. And that's what I'm doing right now. I might be speaking to, in this case, saves you or resurrect, might be speaking to a Christian language, right? I might use other languages to speak to other people. So that's what I'm doing here. And you can choose to take that or leave it, but that's a cool trick. So, and it's, when I say trick, by the way, it's not such a terrible use of that word, because I use the word trick in the sense of like, it's something that's very easy to do. But we hear the word trick and we think, oh, like, trick or treat, or, this is going to trick you, and it's negative, right? I don't mean trick negative. When I say this is a really cool trick, I mean it's something super easy to do. It's not something negative. So I use that word. Probably should change it, but it's too fun to use. So think of it like this. Now I'm switching. Now notice I said imagine, picture. Okay? That's all right brain stuff. That's all in that right brain going, okay, imagine, picture, you're looking up into the right. Okay, that's all in that area of the brain. Think is the left brain, logical. And why am I doing that? It goes right back to duality. I'm not going to just speak to imagine and picture and, dream. No, what if someone's an engineer? What if somebody's just a mathematician, highly logical? Well, think of it like this. I've immediately got their attention. So I'm speaking to as many people as I can. That is another aspect of viral NLP. Speak to a broad audience. And you use it with simple words like this, not complicated. Just have to know where to put them. Of course, we'll show you specifically where to put them, but this will really help you get started, okay? So now we're going to talk about financial future. No one else will ever hold the keys to your financial future except you. No stressing over traffic. Now look at this one. Now free organic traffic can stream in daily simply by reposting on sites like Facebook and YouTube. Now that sentence is now free organic traffic, right? That's how it's meant to be read, and that's how I read it. But what sticks out to you? Now free. Now your brain, your conscious mind knows full well that this course is not free. But you hear that word, now free, and now is a command term which, what? It's immediate action, now. So now free, it's just loaded in those two words, now free. It's like, where is it? And even if it's not free, your brain responds. It's kind of cool. So that's why I do stuff like that. This will give the affiliates time, and give it time. Give it time. It's not going to happen overnight. Affiliates will eventually find and sell for you. Now that is true power. I love emphasizing true power here because truth is I have three major core values. Truth is one of them. So true power is awesome. Okay, I think because it deals with truth, and also true power is cool. Remember is another prototypical NLP term. It's a command. Remember. I want you to remember something. Now, sometimes I use this. I go, remember, and I say something they've never heard before. I do that all the time. Remember, I have 3 dogs that learned how to do this. And you know what you're going to do? If I said I have 3 dogs that learned how to do this, first of all, you're not going to believe me, but just pretend with me for a moment. Let's make it even more realistic. Remember, I taught high school kids how to do this, and they could all do it. You know what you're going to be doing right now? You're going to be going, wait, where did he say that? Did I miss something? I better pay closer attention. So I don't think there's a name for that technique. I think I made it up, but if I had to name it, I would name it like the post facto remember. So in other words, I'm going like remember something not true. Yeah? So something that didn't happen, something that you shouldn't remember, like you have no reason to remember because I didn't tell you what it is. This is fun. Remember, I taught high schoolers how to do this. And then when I do that, by the way, I say, remember, I taught high schoolers how to do this, and I never even had to find my largest affiliate. So I'll throw in something that I didn't say before, but then I say something I did say before. That's how I make that trick work, for real. Because I just like to do something where I haven't told you something. Because when I say remember, I've got your attention like that. Remember. Because think back when you heard that as a kid. Okay, remember, be back before midnight, right? That was the last thing that your mom or dad or whomever you raised you told you. Remember, do your homework. So that's a command. And your subconscious mind responds to that like Pavlov's dogs. Boom, just like you start salivating, right? Remember, I never had to find my largest affiliate to earn almost 30K. And I have far more than one VSL, by the way. Then I go, look, all the top marketers agree. Now, what is that? That's presumption. That's presumptive language. Everyone agrees. It's like I just stated it's a declarative is what it is. I'm declaring this to be true. This is the best training on planet Earth. Selling anything using viral NLP. So obviously I want that to leap out like crazy. Selling anything using this stuff, not just an ebook. You can sell anything, product, service, anything. And then I rattle off everyone who raves and rants about me. There's Andy Jenkins, Frank Kern, Evan Pagan, Perry Marshall, Ryan Dice, Yannick Silver, John Carlton. And it's great to have all those testimonials, but that's the limit. That's the extent of my testimonials in this entire VSL. So I don't do a whole lot of them in this VSL. Now, I love testimonials. Don't get me wrong. And I teach and in fact, you're about to see this. I teach a way to do testimonials that's very powerful. It's very cool. In this particular VSL, I didn't need it. It was actually cool just to do them in rapid fire. Now I get it into the call to action. Click right now. Click right now. See? Just $4.97. Click right now. See? Just $4.97. Yeah, that was done on purpose. Click right now. And notice something else. Repetition. Click right now and get it when? Now. Now. On the same line, no doubt, no less. Click right now and get it now. Done on purpose. Repetition. Virality. Cool. See that discounted price? I ask the question, John, why is it just $497? What am I doing there? I don't say, can you believe it's only $497? I say, John, why is this just $497? Like, in other words, somebody's going to be incredulous. They're going to be like, how on earth are you pricing this? Why are you pricing this so low? What's going on? I know it's a digital course, that's how, but why are you pricing it so low? So I'm assuming by doing this, it's a presumptive question. Why is this just $497 again? So the word just is extremely important. If I took out the word just, can you read it now? Why is this $497? That could be really bad. Like, why is this so expensive? Why is it just $497? One word changes everything. Isn't that a cool tip? Well, here's why. Remember what we talked about Cialdini? And I don't say because. Here's why. Truth. Go right into my core value, be told. I sold this course for years as a component accelerator for $997. True. If you wanted my software with it, it was either $29.97, that's the price it was for 5 years, or $19.97 when it was on sale. And the only time I ever sold it for less than that was $9.97 at closeout when I took it off the market. So it's right now $19.97 being sold by a major agency. And that's the story that I tell. Accelerator has been taken over by a major ad company and taken off my hands, and they sell it for that $19.97 price point. Altered. So in fact, when I talked to them about promoting Accelerator, like, no, you can't even promote it to your own list. And they were much cooler than that. But you get the Fast Track is the next best thing. So that's the goal. It's not the software, but it's the materials, right? So I'm free to sell something less expensive and help far more marketers make money. That's cool. Notice what's standing out: less expensive. So you know it's less expensive than that. Okay, look. That's an NLP command. You are looking at the screen right now. Look. Just told you to. Now, I bet you're here today because you're looking for, no, that's not what I used there. I bet you've been looking. That's not accidental. Looking, repetition. Can you see it? Looking. Yeah, you can see this throughout. I'm probably missing half of this stuff just going through this tutorial so quickly. Something that will finally help you finally stake your claim in the internet marketing $300 billion annual profit pool. That's how much people spend. That's how much $300 billion a year in online sales and marketing. Crazy, isn't it? Makes perfect sense. So I agree with you. Accelerator might be too rich for your blood, at least right now. In other words, you might not be wealthy enough to afford that $2,000 accelerator, but yeah, get this course and you soon will be, is what the implication is. So here's the deal. Cash. I underlined it this time. I could have turned it red. That would have been cool too. I don't want cash. But here's the deal, cash. Okay. I don't want cash to hold you back. And I believe that you deserve a nice break today. And to be honest, Accelerator has made me millions. Now making me nice commissions. So I'm setting this all up. I can do this for this crazy discount. Notice the dots at the end for this crazy discount with a catch. Cool. Now, crazy discount, catch. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, well, you highlighted that red because catch. Okay, you're wanting to say, okay, there's another use of the word catch. Like when I throw you something, you're going to catch it. I want you to catch what I'm saying. Crazy discount, catch it. Subconsciously, you're hearing that. So crazy discount, catch. Only 48 hours. So I literally lay this down. So I'll tell you exactly, obviously, how long the discount's going to be. And after that, the timer goes up and actually works. This actually works. Click right now. Click right now. You'll see that over and over again. And again, now is repeated. Look at it this way. Now I'm doing something really cool. I'm going to build a logical left brain 1, 2, 3 conditional thing saying 1, 2, 3. Look at it this way. 3 things. That's very logical. But look at it this way is neither left brain or right brain. It can be both. So look can be visual, like you can visualize that, or it can be logical. So this is kind of open-ended. But we'll err on the side of the left brain. First, and I just build a case. $497 is so cheap it puts it in the hands for anyone, even newbies. Okay, it's a steal. Steal, highlighting that one. That could be probably bad if it's taken out of context. Number 2, and this is interesting. So let me tell you what I'm doing here. This is the positive one. It's a positive, negative, positive. In other words, it's a push pull push sandwich, so to say. So push means I want it away from me. Pull means I want it toward me. So so this is a pull, push, pull. A pull means I want it toward me. $497 puts it within reach of anyone that deserves a break. So I want that. It's perfectly priced. All good. Pull that mother toward me. Steal for other online marketers and entrepreneurs. Absolutely great stuff. Pull that toward me. Number 2, anyone who is not serious enough about their business to invest a pathetic, notice that word, pathetic, push that away. for training isn't even going to use the methods no matter how baby simple they are. So even though that's a duality statement, they're not even going to use this stuff even though it's baby simple. So that's a really cool duality trip, but that's really more of a push. So I have practically nothing to lose by giving it to you. And number 3, anyone who is serious and smart enough, now that's another pool. So you see the pool, push pull, to pony up a measly $4.97. And this is a major pool, has an opportunity to explode their profits virally. Joy. I believe in increasing joy, believe you me. And money, if used correctly, can really increase your joy because you'll have more time. And that's why I believe making money is such a good thing, because you can help people with it, and that gives you joy. You can do great things for charity. You can spend more time with your loved ones. That is how a major aspect of getting joy is. And when I have struggled financially, so I know what I'm talking about, it's nowhere near as joyful. Okay? And peace of mind. That's a major, major pull. And that really does make me happy at this stage, knowing, helping others achieve and even surpass my own success. So now you know my secret. So that's a little bit of an inter-story there in the end of that 1, 2, 3. Click right now and notice now what I've included now today, just in case, okay, you haven't been repetitive enough. Click right now today. Well, of course, if you do something right now, it's today. That's okay. Again, repetition. Give you $9,000 bonus. Order. Very special. It's across 4 slides. I'm going to give you $9,000 bonus. Order. It's very special. And here I just go into the bonus. I talk about the 6 calls I'm going to give away. This is actually longer than the course. I talk about these calls. $1,500. That's what I charge for an hour of coaching. That's when it's a group call. It's $5,000 an hour when I'm individual. That's a very real value of $9,000 today. You can free. So yes, you can do this free. Again, the free just sticks out, doesn't it? Right? Rapid success. Okay. So I love this analogy. Since the VSL Fast Track is your path to rapid success, these coaching calls are like strapping on a second rocket onto your back. Right? And we give it even a more clear, I'd take that metaphor and make it even more clear. You can take a few weeks to get to the top of Mount Everest climbing, or you can blast off and be there in a matter of minutes. That's what these calls can do for you. Get you to that peak of success even faster. Pretty good there. Okay. Here's what's in store for you inside. Okay. In call number 1, I just go down what we're talking about here. Pre-market. So people don't know what a pre-market checklist is. That's because I created it. It is one of the most powerful things you can do in a VSL. If you do this before you write a single word, you almost guarantee that you'll 3x more profitable out of the gate. I mean, this is such a valuable checklist, unbelievably powerful. And I am going to sell it for $4.95 in the coming months, free today. 5 secrets to 3x conversions, and tripling your conversions. And what am I doing here? Imagine. Skyrocket. Imagine. Skyrocket. So that's what I'm doing. Right brain. Imagine. Skyrocket. Click right now today. And then first 30 seconds, grab your prospect's attention. Now, you can see what I'm doing throughout all of this, right? Embed a command. Now, in this particular case, because I'm talking about how to do this, embed a command makes total sense. Now, look at this one. Pay attention. You are about to share. That's the most direct slide in the whole deck for Viral NLP. Pay attention. You are about to share. Now, I hammer this home, is like striking gold. So that is this is samurai level black belt jiu-jitsu stuff that we're talking about here. Pay attention. You are about to share this video. It's like striking gold. That's what I'm saying to your subconscious mind. Pretty cool, huh? This is your treasure map. So because it's like striking gold, well, this is your treasure map to securing the attention you need to change lives and make sales. The secret of story selling. Then I go into what story selling is and buyer's remorse. A money magnet. That's a nice thing to highlight, right? Okay. Surprising words that turn someone from a skeptic into a raving fan. Now we talk about the magic of making your prospect take immediate action using something they don't know, so I put a TM at the end of it. Okay. I try to actually trademark some stuff sometimes, but if I don't trademark it, I'll put either a TM or I forget the one that's before the TM. It's the, or is it RM? But it's you're looking for it's a TM that's in the works. So dimensionalization is a word I use all the time, so I decided to TM it. And now that big word doesn't look so scary. It's going, oh, wow, what the? It creates a moment of like, oh, what is that? Rather than it's a word I don't know. Very important if you're using big words, okay? How to frame your solution to the only must-have choice. So then I just keep going through this here, and I get down to let them pay you. Yeah, letting people pay you is awesome, huh? You also discover how to position your product in your prospect's mind, and immediate credentials. So these are benefits that you want to have. You would love to have immediate credentials. Now, I'm not saying you can get a fake PhD or something like that. That's not what I'm talking about. But how to build credentials in your customer's mind. Very important, even if you're just starting out. And now we get to the last part of this, and that's a killer close. And I talk about how to price an offer, and then I include my super special bonus tip that this offer actually has one in it, okay? And this is how to position one bonus to make it seem like it's worth more than the offer by itself. And between you and me, most of the people on my staff think I'm totally crazy to give those calls away. So that's how I build the value of the calls. You're going to get them today without paying one red cent. Then I do a transition into the guarantee. However, if all of that still isn't enough for you to click right now today, notice how I did that? A lot of people would say, however, that's still not enough. I'm going to give you a guarantee. That's what a lot of copywriters would do. I do this like this. However, if that's still not enough for you to click the order button right now, yeah, that's pretty clever. And that's fun. This is fun. Copy's fun. That's why I'm laughing. Click right now today, fully guaranteed. Now that's a really complex kind of NLP structure here, but I want them to click right now today, guaranteed. I'll guarantee that you're going to click right now. That's kind of a tricky one, but fully guaranteed obviously means what you think it means. That is the course is fully guaranteed. So I refuse to take a penny. Triple money back guarantee. Now that stands out. So you're thinking, what? I get 3 times my money back? No, I have 3 guarantees. That's my triple guarantee. So first of all, for any reason, it isn't the best. Okay. Second of all, if you apply it and it doesn't work, you have to prove you applied it. But if it doesn't work, I'll put you on the call with one of our copywriters to help you tweak your offer. It's $1,500 value. And if you don't like the sound of my voice or the font, whatever it is, give your money back. Fair? Fair? Yes. Yes. You just naturally want to say yes to that. However, I must warn you, 48 hours. So I just reiterate the warning. Guaranteed. Now, I put that up there. When the timer hits 0, the price shoots right up, guaranteed. This offer is only valid for guaranteed. So I'm talking about a guarantee right here, right? Guarantee. And then I go right over here, guaranteed. Repetition. Subtle, but there. Click right now, today. Repetition. Warning. Don't risk costly mistakes. So it's one thing to say, hey, you're going to make money. It's going to help your business. It's another thing to say, wait, if you don't do this, something really bad could happen. And that's what I'm doing right here. I quote, a man who represents himself in court is a fool for a lawyer. So let me help you. Let me represent you. See how I tie that in? As your own billion-dollar copywriter. So you can experience the sales you want, richly deserve. Represent you richly deserve. Otherwise, you could waste more time and cost you thousands of dollars in the process. So this can cost you money by not getting this. And then I say, look, besides, and again, besides is a transition word, right? Besides, and very much like because, okay? Besides is the opposite. Besides, there's another reason I want to say, when the only formula for VSLs you will ever need is only $497, you'd have to be the world's second best VSL expert, because I'm the best. So you'd have to be number 2, not to take advantage of it. That's not you. So in other words, you'd have to be foolish not to take advantage of it. Tiny. It's tiny. It's $497. It's so small. And it is very small. When we're talking about what it can do for you, my gosh, it's very small. Click right now for only $497. Now, I wanted to emphasize the price right there, because at this point, I'm going to pull out all the stops. If they haven't clicked, chances are they may not. It's only $497. So now I'm going to actually show the price. And I'm going to give them a simple promise. You're going to progress faster after these 7 short videos than reading a dozen marketing books, endless seminars, downloading advanced copywriting courses, and then the biggest promise of them all. I want you to use this for your offer. This is all you will ever need. Boy, that's a massive promise. This is all you will ever need for X. And in my case, for selling anything. Doesn't matter what it is, using the power of viral NLP and VSLs. This is all you'll ever need. This is it. So you're not going to have to spend this, then something else, and something else. This is it. It's all you'll ever need. Now, you might be asking, what if I have an upsell? Well, need and want are 2 different things. On this offer right now, I don't have an upsell. I will in the future. Need and want are 2 different things. So all you'll need for VSLs and viral VSLs is this. However, after you get your VSL done, you may want X to help. So like, for example, you may want access to an awesome source for leads. Maybe you need a mailing list. Maybe you need to know how to build a list. So these aren't related to VSLs. So this is all you'll ever need for VSLs. You might need something else to build a list, but that's all you'll ever need for VSLs. Or you may want something else to build a list. And I just remind that it's 100% guaranteed. Let's get you started right now. Click right now and get it now. Ultimate in repetition to end this VSL. So that is the tutorial on Viral NLP and how to create a viral VSL. Obviously, to get the whole viral VSL and to get all the steps and formulas and slides and all that stuff, you got to get the courses down below. It's my VSL Fast Track. And obviously, you know, the cost of it is $497. Click the link that you see below. And I don't have to tell you to do this because you're going to do it anyway. Share this with a friend that you think might be able to benefit from having a viral VSL of his or her own. And let me know in the comments how much you enjoyed the training. I'd love to hear from you. I'm John Benson, and thanks so much for watching.